Also, we are recording this program today. If that little function popped up on your screen right now, go ahead and hit OK, and we will continue. First and foremost, I do want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know that all of us are busy these days, especially with everything going on, but we will make today worth your while. We certainly have an incredible group with us here today. So please let us know that you're here using that Zoom chat function. Again, if it has disappeared from the bottom of your screen, it is kind of in the middle. If you scroll over the bottom of your screen with your mouse, it'll pop up, and the chat function is right in the middle of that. If you'll look through that chat, you'll see everyone, some folks who you might know either professionally or personally, and that is because the kind of people who are passionate about helping others tend to stick together. So that's a good thing. Now, as of today, we are just over a month away from the first in-person Light the Night walk. That'll be in Rochester. It's scheduled for September 24th. I know I am super excited to be back together in person this year for a spectacular night, and that all of you have joined us here for Light the Night to make it even more successful and even more special from all of these folks. You can see some of the other in-person events that we have scheduled there. I'll be hosting in Buffalo on October 1st. It is one of my favorite nights of the year. And if you aren't able to tell over the next half hour or so, I can assure you I am absolutely excited to get back into the swing of things in person. Now, while we are all super excited about walking together in person, we also want to let you know that this year's events will look a little bit different from past walks. Of course, the health and safety of all of you is a top priority. So there will be a quick wellness check for everyone at these events in order to make sure that you can pick up your lantern. Also, please know that LLS, as we have for the past year and a half in this pandemic, we are now keeping an eye on the impact of the Delta variant. And should there be any changes to one of our in-person walks, your local LLS staff folks will communicate that out to you. If you or a loved one also isn't quite ready to come out and walk with us in person, we're also excited to announce at this time that we'll be offering the virtual event option for each market, and that will be following the in-person event. We'll have more details on all of those, all the virtual events as the weeks and months roll on. So make sure you stay tuned for communication from your local LLS staff partners. Now, before we dive into the details of Light the Night and how we make it a successful fundraiser, let's first start with the mission of LLS. LLS began out of one family's grief in the 1940s when they lost their 16-year-old son to leukemia, which was then known as an incurable disease. For more than 70 years, the people of LLS have worked tirelessly to fund the latest research and deliver essential care directly to the people who need it most: blood cancer patients and their families. There are more than 1.4 million people in the U.S. right now living with a blood cancer. And the heartbreaking fact is that someone loses their battle to blood cancer every 9 minutes. That is why we need your support to raise money and fund more critical research and care. Although just 10% of all cancers are blood cancers, consider this: 40% of all cancer drugs were first approved by the FDA for blood cancers. And last year, LLS helped to advance 14 of the 17 blood cancer treatments that were approved by the FDA. At LLS, we all like to say beating cancer is in our blood, and the numbers that you just saw certainly illustrate the truth in that statement. Plus, LLS moves fast to tackle our greatest challenges. Within 3 weeks of the COVID-19 pandemic being declared, LLS launched its COVID-19 Patient Financial Aid Program. And get this, as you can see on your screen, it provided $4.8 million to 20,000 blood cancer patients and their families. Those numbers are astronomical. At LLS, our mission statement begins with the word cure. Cure leukemia, cure lymphoma, Hodgkin's disease, and myeloma, and improve the quality of life of patients and their families. And we are able to advance and further that mission through all the money that's been given and raised by people just like those of you who have joined us today. But our work is not done. That is why we are here. I'm sure the majority on the call today have been affected in some way by cancer, whether you've battled yourself, whether you know someone who is battling or has battled, or sadly, whether you've lost someone you love to this horrible disease. We are honored to have someone here with us today who has heard the words, "You have cancer." And she has been kind enough to join us to tell her story today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome now to the Zoom page, Angelina Shilkowski. Angelina, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Like Dave said, my name is Angelina Shilkowski. And in October of 2005, my husband and I found out that we were going to have our second child. And it was an exciting time, but when routine blood work turned out not to be so routine, December 9th, 2005, we found out while I was 3 months pregnant that I had chronic myeloid leukemia. The next 6 months were quite stressful, going to doctor's appointments and getting blood work. But May 26, 2006 came, Isaiah's birth. Isaiah was 8 pounds, 6 ounces, and a healthy baby boy. And then that's when my journey began. I started researching what the chemo pill that I was going to be taking called Gleevec, what it was all about, what it was going to do to my body. And that's when I found out that the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society helped support Dr. Brian Drucker in getting that Gleevec approved and out to people that needed it. Within 3 months of me taking it, I was in remission and had stayed in remission the whole time. And through those years, I ended up starting a team Agent Orange, searching for a cure in 2007. And we've raised over $100,000 since then. I also ended up becoming a committee member and then eventually turned my passion for Light the Night into a career at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So in September of 2020, I went to my oncologist, and that was the day that he said, "How about we stop treatment?" I've been in complete molecular remission for 14 years at that time. So I'm excited to say that hopefully this September, when I go for my blood work, I will be 1 year treatment-free remission. So when I tell people, why do you want to give to Light the Night and to LLS? I'm living proof. If they wouldn't have been able to give Dr. Brian Drucker the funds he needed to create that drug, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to tell my story. So I want to thank everyone, all the teams and everyone that's on here for the support that you give. And just getting our mission out is the most important thing. So I thank you, and I'm going to turn it back to Dave.
Angelina, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I mean, again, we're talking about numbers out there, 4.8 million people who are afflicted with this disease, just like Angelina. Each of them has their own personal story, their own personal battle, but we help them all of us here at LLS. So once again, Angelina, thank you so much. All right, so you've heard a quick snapshot on LLS and why we have to continue to work hard every day to find a cure. Now let's talk a little bit about why we are here today for LLS and of course for Light the Night. But before we dive into the details of that campaign, we want to get to know you all a little bit better. We would love to know how many years you all have participated in Light the Night. A poll is going to appear on your screen as it has right there. Please click on the number of years that you've been involved with Light the Night, or if you are new with us today. One of the things about these polls in the Zoom format is you have to vote in order for that to disappear. And if after you vote, it doesn't disappear, just go ahead and click on that X after you have voted. Just a little bit about myself in this instance, and we'll kind of go through the chat to see how long all of you have been involved in Light the Night. The results are going to come up here as well. I am a member of the 4 to 6 year group. I have been hosting events like this, both in person and for the past year and a half, virtual for our Buffalo and Western New York and Central New York chapter here for LLS. It is one of my favorite things that I do. I'm a part of other charities, but LLS certainly has my heart. It is great to see that some of you, about 40%, are between 1 and 3 years, and about the third of you have joined us for 4 to 6 years in kind of my camp. Look at the numbers for those 7 to 9 and 10 plus years, almost 20% of you. So that is good news. And for the almost 15% of you who this is your first time, I can assure you that Light the Night is as unique as it is special for not only the people who are battling or who have battled, but also for their supporters, their families, their caregivers, and people who are just appreciative of the LLS mission. It is truly a night that you will not forget, whether it's in person or whether it is virtual. Light the Night is, of course, unique because it takes place after dark, and it features this one-of-a-kind illuminated lantern ceremony. As you can see in that picture, the lanterns are hoisted into the air, into the night sky in white, gold, and red. Let me tell you a little bit about what each of those colors means. Participants choose the lantern that best matches their reason for lighting the night and collectively lift their lanterns into the night sky during the opening ceremony, signaling hope, remembrance, and support as we fight blood cancers. Now, the gold lanterns are carried by those who light the night in memory of someone they've lost to cancer. The white lanterns are carried by those who are battling or who have survived cancer. And the red lanterns are carried by those who support the cause and simply want to see an end to cancer once and for all. And if I could jog off just a little bit, this is the moment that when I first started hosting these events about 4 or 5 years ago, I was not ready for the emotion that is shared by people in each of these categories as we sort of symbolize what each of these colors means is something that is with me, and that as I'm thinking about it now, just sends chills through my body. It is a special occurrence. There are plenty of tears. There is plenty of joy. And it is something that I am really looking forward to, specifically here in Buffalo, down by Canal Side on October 1st. Now, as I mentioned earlier, here in the Great Lakes, Eastern Great Lakes region, in-person Light the Night walks start in September, late September. And this year, our regional goal is, as you can see on your screen, a little bit over $2.1 million. Now, to get things rolling, we have several organizations within our region who have stepped up and made the commitment to support LLS and our Light the Night walks with their sponsorship. You can see a couple of them right there. Let's take a moment to recognize our top 2021 Light the Night sponsors in our region. They are listed right there on your screen. Now, these companies are instrumental to hit and even exceed our 2021 goal of fundraising. Our sponsors have been engaging. They'll have even in the future engaging in interactive booths and other displays at the Light the Night event. So be sure to stop by, interact with them, talk to them about why they choose to support this cause, and certainly thank them for their incredible support. All right, the most successful fundraisers for Light the Night are actually those who are, as you see on your screen, part of a team. These teams come in all shapes, all sizes, all types, from corporations to families, to groups of friends, to neighbors or classmates. But the one thing they all have in common is that, and I am sure a witness to this each and every year, they have a blast in fundraising. And even better, they typically raise more money than anybody else. Teams have always been really the backbone to Light the Night here. And today, I want to introduce you to one of our most passionate and motivating team captains, who's going to tell you a little bit about starting and building a powerhouse team. And his story is one that is emotional, it is personal, but really more than anything, it is successful. So let me introduce you to Erie team captain, the captain of the Erie Insurance Company Finance, Michael Sparks. Michael, take it away.
Hey, thank you very much, Dave. In 2010, my son was just not feeling well. Michael had pain in his jaw and neck, and his doctors kept prescribing more pain medications. Fortunately, my wife demanded a blood test, and we received a call early the next morning ordering him right to the hospital because they wanted to do more blood tests. That is when we heard those 4 words that every parent does not want to hear. Your child has cancer. In fact, Michael's diagnosis was acute myeloid leukemia, or AML. We began looking on the internet because we had no idea what AML was. And we quickly found ourselves going down a rabbit hole of misinformation. The nurses at the hospital had the Leukemia Lymphoma Society contact us and offer their website and the local support group. They also sent us more information on AML. After nearly a year in the hospital and chemotherapy, Michael was able to get a bone marrow transplant at the Cleveland Clinic, and he eventually became cancer-free. In fact, he returned to college, he graduated, and last year he got married. Those first couple of years, I formed a small friends and family team at work. Later, I formed an official corporate team supported by my workplace, Erie Insurance. These first fundraisers were very high effort, but low return on investment. I tried things such as candy bar sales and even a car rally and things like that. After a couple of years, I learned I could not do it all. So I formed committees for 2 main areas. One was for the fundraising of all the different departments and sub-teams for the Light the Night Walk, and the other was for the corporate supported fundraising events. Early on, when I shared my story, I found out that there were many Erie Insurance employees, their children, family members, or friends who were also fighting blood cancer. And I suggested LLS for their support. I want to share with you a few things I learned over the 6 years. Our team raised $250,000. And I found by letting each team find their individual fundraising focus, they enjoy the work more, putting fun in fundraising, and they become more successful. Some teams like to do a bingo with their coworkers at lunch. Others do a luncheon selling pizzas or subs and make a few bucks on each order. Others did gift baskets, auctions, car washes, garage sale types of events. For corporate fundraising, we tried things such as a pumpkin carving contest where employees and families would carve a pumpkin, take a photo, and have people vote on it by their dollars. We also tried an e-gift card raffle, and both of these events now were very low effort, but high return on investment. And each of these raised $5,000. This year, we were given August for a fundraising month, so we're trying to turn the sandcastle. We're going to do a sandcastle creation contest instead of the pumpkin carving contest that we did last year, where every dollar is a vote. Pre-pandemic, we had a very large corporate fundraiser, and we're now planning the 2022 event. It's called Light the Block. We close a street down in downtown Erie and hold a big, huge block party fundraising event. We bring in a band, team up with an adjacent restaurant called the Tap House for food and drink, and we put together a casino night type of event with gambling events such as blackjack, wheel games, and dice. And these winners would each earn a ticket to the grand prize experience raffle. These prizes would be things like an NCAA Division I basketball game sideline ticket, an NFL football game ticket, or tickets to a Major League Baseball games, or even a trip on a Lake Erie fishing expedition. All these came with hotel accommodations, dinner, plus the experience. That event raised over $10,000. And it took a lot of work, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun and a lot of excitement by the community. One final tip is I would encourage you to ask your donors if your employer offers matching gifts. Erie Insurance graciously offers matching gifts on donations of $25 and above. And we remind our employees to do the match and not leave this extra money on the table. It's like magic, I like to say. To people who hand me a 20, I will say, I will turn that 20 into a 50 by you only adding $5 to it. In conclusion, I have seen LLS treatments advance since Michael was first diagnosed. With great advanced treatments, they offer great hope for the day we will not to put have to put that poison of chemotherapy into the patient's bodies, but use these genetic treatments being funded and researched by your generous dollars raised for LLS. Thank you very much.
Michael, thank you so much for sharing your story, certainly about your son, but also about the successes that you have enjoyed over the past several years. Excellent job. And now you all know why Michael is such an asset to all of us here at LLS. Let's get a little bit interactive, shall we? Please, if you would right now, use that chat feature. And I'm going to ask you to share your team goal for this year. We're going to read some of these off. And it looks like Tony is pledging $5,000. That is his team goal. That is a fantastic team goal. 12,000 from CNS. That is another great goal. Excellent job, you guys. We really appreciate it. Keep those coming. $15,000 from Mike O'Leary. These are big numbers, folks, but these are numbers that are achievable. So we certainly appreciate all of these goals. We want to keep those going. $10,000 by Frank's Force. Frank, we know you can do it. We are confident. Now, let me again talk to you a little bit about the fundraising goal for the Eastern Great Lakes region. It is a little bit more than $2.1 million. And I am excited about this number and, of course, the impact that it's going to have, because we're not just raising this money for nothing. We are raising this so that this has an impact. And time after time, since day one of me being involved with LLS and our chapter here, you see this money going to where it should, to help these people who are battling this awful disease, to help them get the necessities that they require, particularly when it's really, really difficult. This is a number that we can meet. And being that I'm a part of this wonderful region, we have exceeded these goals time and time again, not only for Light the Night, but for some of our other events, both in person and virtual. So how are we going to meet and exceed this goal? Well, we brought in the right people to give you the tips that you all need. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome from our local LLS region, Becca Gregory and Tiffany Rolick. Ladies, take it away.
Thank you, Dave, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Becca Gregory, and I am here from the Pittsburgh chapter. I am your campaign manager. I am here today to talk to you about some fundraising tips and tricks. The most important thing you can do is register. If you haven't already, register your team right now. Then register your teammates. Get everyone you can, your family, your friends, your coworkers and classmates. It's free and easy. So get your teammates over to the website now. We have provided a QR code for our regional events that you should be able to see on your screen. You can scan the QR code with your phone and it will direct you to the Light the Night page with our region's events listed. Find your event and register. We have also provided the Light the Night URL in the chat feature. Please register now if you haven't done so already. Don't worry, we don't mind if you multitask, just go ahead and do it. The next step after you've registered is to set up your online fundraising page. Research shows that people who customize their page are 3 times more successful than those who leave their page as a template. What does personalizing your page mean? It means uploading photos of you and your team and the people that you are walking in honor of. And it means writing a short but impactful message about why you light the night. The more personal, the better. While your friends are donating to LLS, they are actually really donating to you. This page is where you can set your fundraising goals and where all your donors can make a quick and easy, secure donation to help you meet and beat your goal. The average raised per person across the country is $400. So set your goal high. I am sure you can probably imagine it, but we as staff people love it when your fundraising is successful. So we've made it super easy to increase your goal on your website once you've met it. And be sure to link your fundraising page to a Facebook fundraiser. It is very important that you do this through our website, which is shown on this slide. Did you know that setting up a Facebook fundraiser will give you an opportunity to raise 5 times more money? Please utilize this easy to use feature to raise more money for patients and caregivers. One of the best ways to kickstart your fundraising is to lead by example by giving a personal gift. It shows that you are committed to your campaign, and it will motivate potential donors to at least match what you've contributed. Also, don't forget to use email and your social media platforms to help spread the word and raise more money. Walkers who send multiple emails to potential donors raise 10 to 15 more times more funds than those who don't send the emails. Our system makes it so easy to tap into multiple social outlets. It's a great way to let people know why you light the night. And you can also send thank you shout outs to your donors on platforms like Facebook, and make sure you tag them when you send those messages out. To keep you on track to reach your fundraising goals, we have some new tools for you. But for all of our team captains in the audience, we have a 10-week team captain guide for you to help with your personal fundraising, but also to help you keep your team on track. And for all the Light the Night participants out there, we have a 6-week guide for you, which will help you achieve and exceed your fundraising goals. You can find all of these tools at www.lightthenight.org, or one of your staff partners are happy to send them over to you if you reach out to us. Fundraising for Light the Night brings so many amazing benefits. Obviously, the greatest benefit is that we're raising funds for research and care for our patients. Our goal here is to cure cancer. But everybody loves a good prize too, and to be treated like a VIP. So we've come up with some incentives for you to use to help you meet and beat your fundraising goals. To reward you for personally raising $100 and earning the title of Champions for a Cure, everyone this season wants to be seen in a limited edition Light the Night graphic t-shirt. You will get this by raising your $100. Like last year, your shirt will be mailed to you again. Once you have raised $100, be on the lookout for an automated email sent to you to confirm your mailing address and shirt size. Unlike last year, however, lanterns will be available for pickup at the actual walk. And everyone who raises $1,000 or more becomes a bright light and receives a special bright light long sleeve tech shirt. Bright lights are some of the most coveted fundraisers out there. Last night, our bright lights in Rochester, Buffalo, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh combined raised more than $599,000. That's incredible. Speaking of bright lights and individual fundraising, we have one of the brightest here for you today. He's a rockstar fundraiser from our Cleveland Light the Night event, and he's going to tell you a bit about how he does so well with fundraising. Please, everyone, welcome Mark Nylander.
Thank you, Becca, and hello to everyone joining us for this Light the Night kickoff. Like so many of you, I have a very personal reason for lighting the night. My journey to speak to you here today started in 2013. That's when I heard those words that both Angelina and Michael heard, the 3 words from my doctor that no one wants to hear. You have cancer. My diagnosis of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was followed by 6 rounds of chemotherapy under the special care of the doctors, nurses, and staff at the Cleveland Clinic. I am now in my 8th year of remission and remain cancer-free. In 2014, I became involved with LLS and Light the Night and have been actively working to increase awareness and raise funds to help find a cure for blood cancer and improve the quality of life for patients and their families. I was asked to spend the short time that I have today to share some of the fundraising ideas that I have found to be successful. So here are 8 thoughts to consider. And from my own experience, I'm confident they'll work for you. So first, in all of your communication to potential donors, focus on the key things that they want to know. Be specific and share information and statistics about the impact their donation will have. Tell compelling stories about your involvement in LLS that brings a personal touch to the ask. Number 2, personalize your fundraising page. I update my story and add a new photo each year. For donors visiting your page, this sends a strong message about your commitment to fundraising and your support for the LLS mission. If you have difficulty editing your page, someone on the LLS team can help. Third, conduct a letter writing campaign to your contacts list. Every year, I prepare a 1-page letter with a photo and mail in a red envelope, so it stands out and gets opened. Well, I know this works because I see a spike in my donations shortly after the letters are mailed. I typically send an email and post on social media as a follow-up to the letter, so I'm reaching my potential donors in multiple ways. 4, consider the ways you can get creative with your campaign. Our team has hosted an annual beer and wine tasting fundraiser with tickets to the event and a raffle that generates thousands of fundraising dollars. Last year, we sold LLS branded socks and hosted a virtual holiday concert. There may be some upfront costs for these types of fundraisers, but you can offset those costs with corporate or business sponsorships in exchange for an acknowledgement and a thank you. Number 5, don't forget to inquire about matching donations that your employer may offer. This is easy money. 6, solicit donations or support from businesses or corporations where you have contacts. Focus on local businesses where you can engage with a decision maker versus a large organization with a corporate giving policy that you may need to navigate. Also, think about local retailers and ask if they'll support your campaign. Something as simple as placing a donation jar at the checkout can generate fundraising dollars. It's worked for me. 7, don't become discouraged. No response does not mean no. Statistics confirm that a minimum of 3 rounds of contacts is often needed to generate a response. A friendly reminder or nudge to someone who may have opened your first email or put your letter aside is often appreciated. And finally, don't forget to say thank you. I commit to getting my thank yous out within 24 hours of the donation confirmation. Your follow-up correspondence should do more than just serve as a tax receipt. Be specific about the impact the donation will have. Your donor will feel more connected to your cause and will appreciate knowing that you and LLS are being good stewards of their money. I hope you found these ideas and suggestions useful. Thanks again for all you do to support the LLS mission, and have a great fundraising year.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing your story and successes with us. Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany, and I am the Campaign Development Manager for the Eastern Great Lakes region, and I have the honor to work on Buffalo and Rochester Light the Night. I'm sure you are all ready to rock your fundraising, so let's get interactive again. Please use the chat feature to chat your personal fundraising goal for 2021. Oh, Becca Gregory is at 500. I know I personally have upped mine. Sherry, thank you at 1,000. And Matt complimenting the envelope idea. I think everyone thinks that's a really great piece. So thank you, Mark, for sharing with us. Again, inspired by all of you, and we'll be upping my goal this year. Thank you for thinking big, and I can't wait to see you in your 20 and 21 fundraising shirts showing your LLS pride. While we are on the topic of individual fundraising and its importance, I want to be sure to introduce you to the Executive Challenge. Many of our region's executive challengers are here today. We have over 60 challengers across the region, and they have pledged to raise at least $325,000 through their organizations and personal networks. If you're interested in joining our Executive Challenge, the 6 to 8 week competition where the most dedicated and resourceful fundraisers in our community battle it out for bragging rights and the chance to appear in Forbes, let's chat. Before I go, I've got a few more tips to help you jumpstart your fundraising. A lot of people ask, who in the world am I going to ask for donations? Well, the simple answer is everyone. A popular saying in what we do is the surefire way to not get a donation is to not ask for one. Once you explain why you like the night and how much good the money you raise is going to do, a lot of those individuals will donate. And I bet some of them will give you more than you ever imagined. The world we are living in is hard, but now more than ever, everyone is looking to make a difference. Remember, every dollar counts. So get out there and use the tools we provide and ask early and ask often. And I know you'll get a return on your efforts. And don't forget about those valuable matching gifts. Remind your donors to see if their company offers matching gifts. And if they do, check the box on the online donation form. This is an easy way to double your impact. Lastly, to help set you up for successes, we have one more question for you this afternoon. We know the audience today is in a different place in their Light the Night journey, and we want to see how we can best help you. Please take a moment to complete the poll on your screen to note where you are in your Light the Night experience and how you would like to get further involved with LLS mission. So if we can help with setting up your team, connecting your Facebook, sharing resources and tools, I'm pretty sure our entire team has something available and in our back pocket and able to send to you. And don't forget to register. Set up and personalize your online fundraising page. Make it personal and never forget that you are helping LLS fund research and care that will absolutely, positively save lives. So ask everyone. Remember that your LLS staff is here to help you every step of the way. I want to give you a glimpse of the passion and excitement the Light the Night experience creates for our participants. Enjoy.
Leukemia Lymphoma Society is an amazing organization. They support so much research, and Light the Night means a celebration of survivorship, a celebration of everyone coming together with a common goal and supporting each other through such a tough thing as dealing with cancer.
This is my second family. You know, I'm a survivor. An organization like this and a night like this, I feel like I'm at a family reunion. People are here for the same cause. For some, they've lost people to this disease, so it may be somber. For others, they beat the disease, so it's victorious. But I feel like I'm just with a bunch of people that are here for the same reason, to really bring awareness to this disease.
One of the things that's so fantastic about the Light the Night program is that it brings together patients, caregivers, survivors, and other people who support those that have been affected by these really difficult diseases.
The purpose of participating is to really feel the energy of the community. Without the support of people like the people who are here tonight, they just can't do all the amazing work and research that they're able to do. They bring groundbreaking treatments to all forms of leukemia and lymphoma and advancements that are necessary to help cure and treat
As a cancer survivor, I feel that Light the Night is very important. This event truly gives survivors hope. When I was pregnant with my daughter Charlotte, I was diagnosed with lymphoma and I went through chemotherapy during the pregnancy. When I came here and looked around and saw all the survivors and white lanterns and all the support, it gave me hope and strength to keep going.
As a survivor, to participate in an event like this is really extraordinary. It's very humbling. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude, and I just get choked up when I think about people coming together for a common cause. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, that video is a great glimpse into Light the Night and what it is all about. I believe a lot of that video was from New York City's Light the Night a couple of years ago, it's a good example of what that night is. You heard words like energy and support and research and cure. There is certainly all of that there, and it is wonderful. Depending on where you are, which market, which city, to see thousands of people kind of all sharing in that same goal, and then all participating in the lantern ceremony. There is, as I've said before, nothing quite like it. Before we close, I'd like to introduce you to our 2021 National Honored Hero. This is Caden. You see him on your screen. In April of 2020, after weeks of leg pain and fevers and testing, Caden's family received the news that he had acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Now, at first, Caden was considered a standard risk for this disease, but after bone marrow sample results came in, doctors then diagnosed him with Philadelphia chromosome positive, and that actually made him a higher risk. Caden is currently undergoing treatment. He is experiencing some side effects, things like stomach pain and mouth sores and hair loss. But one thing that he will never, ever lose is the support of his loving family. Now, over the next couple of weeks, we're all going to have the chance to light the night together for people like Caden and our loved ones. That might seem like kind of a long way away, but it is not. I hope today's kickoff has motivated all of you to register and start fundraising and spread the word about LLS and, of course, about Light the Night. Although so much in our world is and has been canceled, cancer is not and will not be canceled. And patients need our support now more than ever. Together, we will exceed the goal of more than $2.1 million for patients and their caregivers this year. As a member of the Light the Night family, please join us all in bringing a light to the darkness of cancer for Caden and all the patients and families, and for those who have lost loved ones to blood cancer. Once again, I'm Dave Graber from Buffalo, a member of the 2021 Executive Committee here in our region, and we want to thank you all for joining us. We're going to stay on for a couple of minutes longer in the case anyone has any questions or comments or concerns or anything like that. So once again, we're all excited to be back in person for this year's Light the Night. Have a great afternoon.
May seem half empty, but it's sure filling up fast. We're here to change the future from the pain that's in our past. Just because it's always been doesn't mean it has to be. We can make a difference. Take this walk of faith with me. Let's light up that pretty night sky together. Gonna overcome the darkness with the love that shines forever. Atlanta's glow reflects our hope in a future oh so bright. We're hand in hand across this land. You know we're gonna light the night.
Recording is still going.